Hello, I'm Chylli from Channel Chylli, also known as Try, and we are back with more Depersonalization. This time I've actually preloaded the game, so we don't need to sit through 20 minutes of waiting through loading screens. Waiting. There we go, it only took about 42 seconds. Upon reaching the incineration plant, you feel a surge of hot air brushing against your face. Above the chimney looms, spewing ash into the sky. This must be the place. As you step into the incineration plant, the door behind you crumbles into ash. The interior of the incineration plant is much brighter than it is outside. Over the giant pit in the middle sits a furnace, wherein a ball of fire crackles and sparkles like an imprisoned spirit. A man stands under, his head lifted at the tumbling flame. Their sparks keep flying onto his clothes and naked skin. They don't seem to bother him at all. As you approach, he speaks first. To think this dimension would have a new visitor at the verge of ruination. Are you Patrick? Caught off guard, he slightly leans his head to meet your eyes. Though you've never seen Patrick in person, his gravely countenance and unmistakable resolution makes you double down on your bed. And you're looking for me, I presume. Not just me, many of the others were hoping to see you. Then you just locked yourself up in a secluded ruin. Constantine has failed, Patrick. If you still care about the people here, stop your plan right now. Patrick's eyebrows furrow even deeper. He has failed, you said. Then Kirstenday is destined to be consumed by flame. He edges to the furnace, saying nothing more. Standing by his metallic companion, he lays his hand on its surface. The flame, now churned by the touch, howls in impulsive ire and bursts out sparkles, which land on Patrick's body before being absorbed by the man. What was that, Patrick? What do you want? He doesn't bother to look at you as he begins to speak again. I want to change Kirstenday. It's a wish I've had since my childhood. If they want to tear me up for what I've done, they may come. But know that everything I've done, I did for the sake of Kirstenday. Friendship, marriage, nothing of a cost so great that I won't forfeit, even my own life. The flames of madness begin to flicker in his eyes. And still I fail to make the town better, even with everything at disposal at my hand. I had to drive out those thugs, but they rally under an even viler banner. I sought investment for Kirsenday's commercial, yet as soon as the support fund was in their bags, the spectators took the first train out of town. I wanted to rid my government of corruption and encroachment, but those replacements all proved to be even more avaricious devils. with even more insatiable appetites. Patrick's imagination stings your eyes as he absorbs more and more heat and light. Stop, Patrick, stop it. Your attempt to reach Patrick was impeded by the flame walls around him. You recall the phonograph back at his house, the inscribed text next to it in the ring. Patrick might have given up on his marriage, but he would never have let go of his life. I met your wife, Patrick. She was remorseful. She thought she hasn't been able to truly help you. She's gone, Patrick, but she wouldn't forgive herself, and her only little wish was to save you. Howlin, his voice is shaking as he looks at the ring you are holding. She was the kindest person I've ever seen. She gave herself up to save another soul. It was after her sacrifice I began to understood the power of protection. Blessing could be stronger than we thought. You passed the ring to Patrick. You said you've given up a lot, but you were never discarded the ring. Because you knew that even if the town was a cesspool of fools, Helen was always the person you could rely on. Duress and commands were never your options when she was there, were they? Patrick's hand was shaking as he takes over the ring. The frenzy in his eyes fade away, replaced by an admixture of untold feelings. Helen, she died for me, and I'm doing this just for her. The fire around Patrick is growing dim, and his body is fading into ashen gray like burned charcoal. He seems, for the moment, to no longer be hostile. I see. You weren't telling a lie when you said you want to stop the tragedy. You've come a little too late. Like me, you're trapped in this place now. What do you mean by trapped? He sounds a little wary as he points to the furnace behind. See, this furnace has ramparts I built to keep his fire at bay, and as a rampart, it also keeps anyone here from moving out. Who is him? No words of reply come from Patrick. Instead, he unclenches his fist to reveal a tongue of fire. In a curious glimpse inside, you're introduced to a distant world. It all starts from the sky that bleeds the red of boiling blood. A monstrous body from outer space, seething with unparalleled energy and heat, tears the sky asunder, bringing down to the earth a hell to unfold. The air is set ablaze as it approaches, and everything, including the space itself, is crackling with explosions. The final days upon mankind, nothing escapes the fire and the fate of ashes. People's hopes and faith turns to screams and cries as they fuel the consuming catastrophe. The town of Cursonday shatters and the purgatory unbound. His name is Cthulhu, a fire without cease. Everything here is but an illusion of his ageless flame. Your senses are drawn back to Cursonday, which is burning alight. He has come to Cursonday ever since Helen's cleansing ritual failed. He has set everything aflame, alight with the flame. He burns and destroys houses, lies, even the laws that rule this universe. What you have seen in the town was only the mirror reflection of the fire which has descended. You realize Patrick was telling the truth as the residents live and breathe in harmony even when the fire is upon them. They do not stop their work as the inferno takes them by whole and eventually become a pile of ash. No one can escape this burning realm. Their past, their future, their dreams, all of them will pass into flames and become the fuel. One by one, the residents disappear in smoke. Then you recall the smell of charred coal in your dreams or you stay in the town. Each of us was in search of a man to correct the wrong that has been done. Constantine with his trial to salvation, Vincent with his research on human body modification, and the shelter we built under the help of every Lady Redstone's knowledge. You see, only Parodier Hotel stands intact as the fire spreads. Many, however, did not make it to the shelter in time and joined the drifting ashes. My judgment was that Constantine's trial was our only way out of the plight. We had escaped our burning demise if we flee from reality. Hearing Patrick's words, you can't help but recall the arachnids. How their minds were on the verge of crumbling with each step they took. To live in an unreal world without the freedom of will and sensation is a crueler death than morality. Constantine's solution was nothing but a false promise. It's a lie. Your words rekindle Patrick's fury, whose visage begins to grow demonic again. This time, however, he quenches the inner fire as soon as he notices it. His wrath calms down to placid annoyance, then to unsaid guilt as he turns to the flame in the furnace. I can't refute your criticism. What I wished for was a chance for us to live, even if it was but a fragile dream. Silence descends to the both of you. Patrick stares quietly at the burning flame, which looks back at his somber face. The rolling lava inside begins to turn more violently as you approach, revealing a red gem that's hovering and burning above. What is that gem? What's the gem inside? This furnace seals away the source of the pain. Together with the gem that is invoked, Yaphulia at my side. Since the moment I placed the gem there, however, the flame has been restless. It cuts the incineration plant from outside. Have you ever tried to put the fire off? You can only have witnessed my endeavor. His fire rules over our principles of reason and logic. He continues after a short pause. Cthulhu's fire sets everything alight. For him, everything is just another fuel to add onto his flame. Trying to put it off is like walking past an arid forest carrying a torch in hand. Is there nothing we could do? To put out a forest fire, we need nothing less than another forest fire. Once bereft of all combustible, the fire won't be able to last. If Kursanay's fate is doomed, then my job is to burn everything down so that the fire will not leave this place. Though he sounds indifferent, his voice speaks with unmistakable resolve. Is there really no other options? When you shift your focus back to the flames in the furnace, they are no longer chaotic waves flashing against each other, but turning harmonically and rhythmically in a whirling pattern like the radiance of the sun. Following the spiral strings, your eyes begin to lose focus before you find yourself looking at the past of many untold souls that come from the fire, and at the end they return to fire, an eternal paradise where you shall also find your final rest. Then you feel the heat all over your body. You are burning. Patrick soaks up most of your flames, hitting you from his mesmerizing charm. Wake up, I say. What just happened? You've just experienced and survived the temptation of Kafuga's fire. It only takes a blink for it to set your mind on alight before spreading across your brain like a wildfire out in the meadow. He looks at the furnace for a while before he continues. It won't last very long, the furnace. How do you manage to control the flame? Patrick smiles wanly. No, I'm not really controlling it. In fact, what I've been doing is suppressing it. The flame comes on my own back end. Naturally, it wants to feed on my fuel first. Patrick's body blurs unstably, and for a few instances, you can see through it. What's that supposed to mean? The flame has nowhere else to go as long as I stand here. But if I die, nothing will confine it as it breaks free. And that will spell Cursenday's end. Are you certain it's only Cursenday that's going to be affected? It feeds on me, and conversely, I choose that which intensity it burns. If I provide the fire with enough fuel to combust in a single burst, then we go out in a powerful explosion within a limited range. Inspiration strikes you like a bolt out of the blue. That's it, Patrick. That's what we're going to do. If we can have the flame vent off most of its energy in the slaves, then the residents will have much less fire on them. Though it's only an assumption, perhaps in 100 years or so, the impending doom will vanish with his host's death. Patrick's eyebrows are almost sticking together when you explain to him the idea. After seeing your stern face, he can't help but laugh bitterly. It takes the authenticity of a lunatic to put oneself against a god's fire. Still, crazy as it might sound, it's also our only hope. Patrick takes a long, deep breath before laying his hand once again on the furnace's surface, transferring his life force into its chamber. He does not move an inch as the fireball swells to its maximum. And the rest I shall entrust into your hand. That becomes his last words as his body drifts into the heat wave and disappears. Then the heat blurs your eyes, and in an instant you see the illusion of a couple, each in each other's embrace, scatters with the wind. I'm here, Helen. The fire inside could break loose at any moment. The moment you fling open the furnace, flames gush out before converging into a single torrent of fire. Swirling and uprising, it expands into a sphere of inferno. Standing under the nascent sun, the boundless light once again invokes your inner fear to submit and bow. You feel welling from inside you an undeniable desire to be with the light. And there's another ending here if we lose, so we're going to lose really quickly. Your body cracks up like a red, heated porcelain as the flames take you. From afar, the bell tolls and resounds, muffling the crackles around you. You become with the flames before you realize it. As it glints back, you join the cluster of ceaseless light and timeless flame, reborn as one of the countless light orbs floating in the current of ether. You feel with your new gained body that you have left the planet to float in the cosmos, high from the earth. In the center of the universe, ultimate tool, your gracious light is an abundance blessing. Even the ancient gods are singing a praise with their heads low to your immortal glory, and you feel nothing but proudness. Then you find yourself back on the ground in a blink of an eye, where intolerable filth and darkness smothers you in their grim clasp. You pray for purification and is swiftly answered. The indulgence of having the foulness removed from your flesh feels divine. Then an arm takes you back and with a forceful push shoves you out of the flames and stops the fusion. Then you fall back to the disgrace as long. After a period of time, you regain consciousness. As your eyes flutter open, you discover yourself seated on a bench in the square. Before you lies the remnants of what was once cursed there. You're well aware that this catastrophe occurred partly because of you. However, utterly unfazed by this realization, you lift your gaze skyward and search for a specific star. Became a distant sphere of fire that once kindled your pride and reverence. Wow, we got 8 of the mythical items. That's not bad at all. Give me a moment here, I need to look at something really quickly. Okay, so far we've gotten every ending we could. And now we actually have to beat the boss this time. I really don't want to get a lunatic trade, so we're just going to reload now. Actually, I have an idea what I can do now. Since my sanity is so bad, I can... Really quickly just regained some of our SP now. Alright, now give me a moment. My cat got in my room and she's bugging me. Alright, sorry about that. We're back now. We're going to override our save now, and then we are going to do this again. Okay, we're going to try to cancel his attack then. Going to create a barrier to try to reduce our damage taken a little bit. Okay, I think it can only take spell damage, so we're going to be doing that. And there we go, that was an easy victory once we actually got it right. And we got another mythical item from it. The high incandescence is contracting, followed by the sphere's inward collapse and mutation. In a fiery combustion, sparks burst out from where the orb was, flying in all directions. There is no heat, no light, but only the smell of seared wood and metal. You now have returned to the incineration plant. The sky is no longer smoldering gray, but clear, reminiscent of azure as it wanted to be. The town of Cursendave is in warm sunlight. You find Bruno in no time. From the later statistics, you learn that, aside from a few unfortunate buildings that didn't get the refurbishment they needed in time, most survived the havoc. The upcoming rebuilding work requires no less skill than the investigation you've been through. Bruno, on the other hand, finally has the time to have a drink with you at Reindeer Pub despite this busy schedule. It's already afternoon by the time you arrive at the pub. After days of rescue and reconstruction, the prevailing panic and despair among the townspeople are gradually dissipating. People are now gathering at the pub, envisioning their post-reconstruction lives. Some decide to pursue their passions and new professions, while others still linger in sorrow, ready to leave after their final drink. However, the majority are engrossed in discussions regarding my town's next mayor. At the moment, Bruno is sitting alone at the bar, savoring his drink. How's your new job, Marcel? Oh, it's you. Absolutely loving my new gig. Thanks to Chef Bruno, I'm off the hook now. Finally clear as day. Feels like a whole new beginning, and big thanks to you, too. If it weren't for your help, I'd probably still be drowning my sorrows in a corner. Leading those words, Marcel resumes his duties at the pub. Amidst the hustle, he steals glances at Tehran, who was busy at the bar. Sensing his gaze, Tehran returns the smile. Perhaps this bar will witness more intriguing tales in the days to come. The intoxicated bell tower janitor takes a siege and sings as if in solitude. His vocal range from hysterically high to mysteriously deep at times. However, this particular melody proves oddly captivating, weaving an intoxicating charm. Enveloped in a trance, you find yourself immersed in a dreamlike stance, wandering inside a chapel within a song. Soon the tune concludes and the inebriated janitor remains offstage, lost in a trance. Still gives me the jitters, waking up to see half of the town in ruins. Has you been napping away in your room? Hey, it was all you're doing, dragging me here off the train, drowning me in booze, got me so ragged had to bunk at the hotel. Yeah, no sweats, at least we're both alive and kicking. Better than waking up in the zombie apocalypse anyway, right? Well, that's true. Now with the mayor gone missing, they'll need to elect a new one, right? Sheriff Bruno does seem like a good pick, doesn't he? Definitely, a lot of folks think so too. But let's set aside the fretting for now. Since you're leaving tomorrow, let's go all out and have a blast tonight. What? Come on, not again. Hi there, Philip. Oh, come on, can't you just give me a break? No worries, I'll be leaving soon. How are you doing? Alright, I guess? You call this alright? Everyone's struggling now. Even the black market is gone. Guess I'll have to find a new job now. Well, best of luck. Newspaper office temporarily closed. Due to a massive snowstorm, several local facilities in Curzon have been damaged, so the newspaper office is shut down for maintenance. The affected area covers only Curzon, and economic and property damage is currently being assessed. seated together, you talk about the recent days and reminisce about the past. With Luther's expertly crafted drinks and the serene atmosphere, Bruno's tense demeanor gradually relaxes. Eventually, out of curiosity, you ask him a question. Did anyone ask about what exactly happened? Yes, they did, but we spun a story about the snowstorm and fire to explain it. Did the townspeople buy it? No, not really. Most of Carson Day is slowly getting back to normal. Some people lost their homes and are staying at the hotel for now. Once things settle, nobody will bother digging for the truth. I think they've probably sensed that something big happened. At first, I wasn't sure if they'd pursue the truth, but then Sandra said, people just want to keep moving forward. As long as things are okay, they won't dwell on the past too much. After all, we all just want to get back to our peaceful lives. And those who have deceased on would agree. Hearing Bruna's explanation, you nod in agreement. Then you finish the drink in your glass. I'm catching the train and leaving today. Bruno pauses briefly at your words, then smiles. Alright, time to leave, I suppose. Sadly, I can't see you off. I'll be knee-deep in reconstruction and relief efforts. And yeah, thank you. Thank me for what? For sticking around with the investigation even after I passed out. Without you, we wouldn't have come this far. What if we never uncover the truth? Then I'd keep at it no matter how long it may take. I always think of my late mentor, Sheriff Carter. He had this singer he loved. He had the singer he loved, and even turned on one of the singer's lines into his motto. Whenever I face trouble, he'd say, Bruno, not one for eloquence, endeavors to imitate the tone and laughter of a lively man. The dawn will always come, even if today is cloudy. There is always tomorrow. Those words are my guiding light. I hope one day you'll find hope and strength in them too. Bruno raises his glass and gulps down the drink. If you ever need a hand, just reach out to me and Sandra. Bruno and Sandra have become your partner after the ending is recorded. At that moment, his phone rings. Bruno swiftly answers, urgency apparent in his voice from afar. Sorry, I got the police department on my tail again. No worries, Sudi calls. When you're free, maybe drop by with Sandra. Yeah, I promise. Guess I'll have to leave now. Stay safe, pal. Yeah, you too. I should get prepared for leaving as well. Just as you're about to leave, you notice a woman in a suit playing chess solo. Her attire and demeanor strike a familiar chord. You are... You're the woman who played chess with me on the train. Nice to see you still remember me. Glancing at the chessboard on the table, you surprisingly notice familiar names inscribed on the base of several white pieces. Patrick, Constantine, Adolf, and Ben. Why do these names appear on your chess pieces? That's not important, at least not yet. She gestures for you to take a seat. Looks like you're about to leave this town. Before you go, would you mind answering a few questions for me? The past days must have been quite a journey for you. How was it? Did you have a good time? After all, it was an intriguing journey. I met many different people and unraveled some peculiar mysteries. Maybe I'll tell these adventures to others in a few years. Not sure if anyone will believe me, though. Oh, good to know that. Then she starts clearing the pieces from the board. I'd like to dwell farther into this journey. Do you hold any regrets? I do have some regrets. It's evident that Constantine and Patrick are the masterminds behind all the chaos. However, it feels like there are still loose ends waiting to be tied up. She nods as if she senses your thoughts. Very good. You're still holding on to curiosity even as the story wraps up. I'm sure you've got a bright future ahead of you. Upon her words, a black queen piece materializes in her hand, landing on the board. Here's the final question. While the sun illuminates, it also casts shadows. You may believe that you know well about what happened here. However, there are still undiscovered truths and secrets lurking within shadows. Should the opportunity arise, would you choose to seek the truth? Truth always intertwines with despair. Do you possess the courage to embrace it? Truth, you say. Who are you exactly? It matters not. The woman picks up a white pawn piece, placing it in front of you once more. Let's focus on things that are meant to pique your curiosity. The woman dons a mysterious smile, her eyes brimming with excitement. Once again, she echoes her question. Truth always intertwines with despair. Do you possess the courage to embrace it? Answer the question. Your response shall be met with an equivalent answer. I know that's two different endings depending on which one you choose, so we're gonna go with the shorter one first. Gently you place the white pawn on the board. I have no interest in the truth. My job is done and my client is satisfied. What comes next is not my concern. Unfazed by your response, the woman maintains her elusive smile, rendering her true intentions inscrutable. Well, I was going to say, you might have declined a fascinating offer, but then again, who really has control over fate? Maybe you'll have a different answer when our paths cross again. As she utters those words, a shroud of darkness emanates from her, enveloping you. When you regain your vision, she is nowhere to be found in the pub. Wait, what was I about to do? Oh shoot, I need to hurry or I'll miss the train. Okay, we have an autosave we can go back to for the other ending. Sometime after leaving Curse Day, you receive a letter from Bruno detailing his recent experiences. According to him, he was surprised by his election as the town's mayor, finding it incredible that the typical obstinate councilors would transfer authority to an outsider like him. Sandra, however, celebrated this development, firmly believing that no one is better suited for the role than Bruno. In addition, Bruno admits to feeling exhausted. He confesses that if it weren't for Sandra's support during numerous social events, he might have faced a nervous breakdown. Surprisingly, he notices his newfound confidence and abilities in interacting with influential figures. He informs you that Sandra has decided to donate the Paradier Hotel and plans to reconstruct the charred buildings alongside it, creating a new landmark for Curson Day. According to him, Sandra genuinely believes that the increase in tourist numbers will also benefit her grocery business. In the final part of the letter, Bruno mentions that due to his busy schedule, they won't be able to leave Curson Day anytime soon. Nevertheless, he extends a warm invitation for you to revisit Curson Day anytime, eagerly anticipating the opportunity to reconnect with you. Lex fulfills his commitment by resigning and surrendering to the authorities after the crisis has passed. Soon, Bruno visits Lex in prison, bringing a former undercover program signed by Carter. I need you to go ahead with this plan. If you're looking to make things right, sitting in jail won't cut it. I need your help, Lex. Did you learn this trick from that friend of yours, Bruno? Apologies, one second. Okay, apologies for the interruption. My cat was down by my extension cord, and if you ruined my recording and deleted all the video, then I would be extremely pissed off right now. With Bruno's intervention, Lex resumes his role as sheriff. He reforms outdated customs in favor of employing firm but fair methods, effectively curbing corruption. Officers who were once out of shape begin to slim down, and townspeople are no longer fear their presence. Still, Lex harbors lingering regrets. Some of his secrets can only be whispered in front of the unmarked tombstone in the northern part of the town. You reach out to Bruno and learn of Ben's story. After your departure, Curson's tower structure underwent a significant change. For Ben, it presented the ideal moment to challenge tradition. Leveraging the wealth and connections he amassed in the underworld, Ben deftly transitioned his business into the legitimate realm. With his remarkable audacity and business acumen, he achieved notable success in the diverse sectors, including real estate and services within Curson Day. His career flourished, his business domain expanded, and Curson Day's economy thrived. However, amidst Ben's prosperity, the town hall received a document folder within a non-mess source detailing the crimes committed by Ben and his associates. Ben fearlessly confronted all charges in court and accepted the verdict of death. However, his family did not give up on him. Through diligent efforts, substantial fines, property divestments, and strenuous negotiations, Ben managed to evade the death penalty. Eventually, he received a 10-year reprieve instead. After that day, the elusive kingpin of the underground crime kingdom in Curson Day vanished. In its place, a mysterious new shareholder appeared in the Cursonday winery. Perhaps soon, exquisite wines from Cursonday will grace shelves across the nation. The Omnivision system in Cursonday has vanished. Adolf discreetly left the town, leaving behind a splendid estate adorned with artwork. Currently, he maintains his refined appearance and sophisticated demeanor, effortlessly navigating through various echelons of high society, drawing on his extensive knowledge and cultivated persona. Adolf's adeptness at discussing his true intentions prevents anyone from seeing through his facade, securing robust support for himself. Interestingly, he restricts his high-profile style whenever dealing with matters related to Cursonday. Sources suggest that Adolf covertly established a business intelligence network offering varying rewards based on the significance and value of the information. Surprisingly, the most graciously rewarded intelligence is for a specific person. Wanted, a woman named Muir. Time elapses, ushering in a renewed optimism. Swiftly, Christmas returned. Amidst the season of reunions, he boarded a train bound for Cursonday once more. Different from your last visit, you arrived in the early morning. As the train eases into the station, a jubilant scenery unfolds beyond the windows. Winter sunlight rays the town in a silken glow, dispelling momentary weariness, leaving behind only the comforting warmth of the sun and the joy reflected in the faces of the townspeople. The new year appears to bring promise to Cursonday. Brimming with anticipation, you approach Sandra's hut, gently pushing open the familiar door. We have made really good progress on our mythical items. We don't have very many left to get the next time. But really quickly, we are going to go through and get the true ending, so... Excellent, now you've created new possibilities for our story. You can call me Muir. Exploring the realm of possibilities, my favorite game. As you grapple with Muir's words, the jewelry box materializes out of thin air on the table before you. This is an intriguing box. Unfortunately, it's empty now. I need your help to retrieve its contents. What content? An emotion, a sensation, an inevitable affliction. Its name is... despair. Yeah, okay, Junko. As Nyar speaks, the world around you starts to distort. Rising in panic, you find yourself plunged into a pitch-black void. As the darkness in front of you dissipates, you find yourself in the plant again. Okay, getting another ending here doesn't... There is no other ending for leaving, so I figure this is a boss. You see the same furnace, chamber door open, except the entrance behind you now leads to oblivion. Why am I here? You begin to doubt your memory. Have you ever left the plan for real? Those times you shared with Bruno rebuilding the town were just a fantasy. Was I dreaming? Those memories, were they all lies? Completely baffled, you search your surroundings for the evidence. The searing heat and the stink of charcoal tell you that you were not seeing things. You let go of all the noise in your mind and empty your thoughts. Everything becomes clear to you. Dreaming or not, I can and will solve this trouble. Wait a second, that woman told me to get back whatever's in the box. So the puzzle still has a missing piece. You muster your courage and decide to have a close look around you. The fierce flames are gone and the furnace is replaced by a tiny flickering tongue of fire, where something darker than coal is wriggling at the center. You are sure the substance is growing as you walk up to take a closer look. A dark wind bursts out from within, making you cover your eyes. As it swirls in the air, its size grows drastically before its body blots out the sky completely. The black storm frets the town under, denying any light's penetration. Robbed of any sense, you start to witness with your mind's eye memories that were never there. You see a familiar woman who has the same visage as the one with whom you played chess. One by one, she begins to bring more of your friends into the vision. You see the memory of Adolf, where the woman won him over in a game of gamble and used him as her pawn for a century. You see the memory of Martin's father, where he mastered the incantation under the woman's teaching and took Ben's family from him. You see the memory of Martin Jin, where he told Huck over the mermaid's meat with trembling hands from the woman, and willfully turned into a deathless monster to avenge his family. You see the memory of Lucifero, where she became the woman's puppet after hacking into the Omnivision system. Eventually, she wiped her identity off the world and joined many faces. You see the memory of Patrick, where he activated Kathuga's gem under the woman's instigation and forfeited Kirstenday to the flames. You see the memory of Ben's ancestor, where he took over the box from the woman's hands and unsealed the curse, and sacrifice that would haunt his people for more than 100 years. Then you open your eyes and see, at the end of a storm, a monster's gaze is fixed upon you. You realize this is not the first time you see it. A child from under chaos, a warmonger, a jester, a man, a woman. She makes her appearance before mortals when they stand at the forks in their paths. It leaves in reverie after their misery and despair blooms. And now she's introducing her name, the Crawling Chaos. Where malice and profanity take form, filth follows as a black downpour washes out all that is pure and innocent. The cold rain chills your bones as you stand isolated. Do I have anything to help my sanity here? Not a very efficient way to get SP, but I did get an achievement for eating a bunch of trash while having unpoisonable. Alright, I think that's everything I can do there for now, so let's save again. Oh, okay, I need to roll a critical success on all my attacks. Wow, we absolutely demolished her there. That was really good. And there we go. The fractured and strained reality gradually comes to stabilize as you find yourself standing on a lightless land. The black thread that was buried with you now begins to detach from your body. Ahead, the crawling chaos looks at you in absolute peace, her face showing neither the slightest of upset or annoyance. Something's telling you she is, after her defeat, enjoying the outcome. Thread by thread, the monster decomposes herself until nothing but a core of knots remains at her heart, encasing something inside. You find a surprise when the strings are gone that it's a chest piece of the queen. Deprived of the thread's lift, it falls onto the ground before breaking and scattering away. You then hear the laughter of a woman resounding with eerie apathy, which drags you into a dizzy haze. The space around you becomes unreal again, then you find yourself in the tavern. The woman before you weighs the box in her hand before a smile comes to her face. Pleased with what she has, she passes you the black chess piece on the table. A little reward for exceeding my expectation. The pioneer. Very intriguing indeed. So yeah, much to wish to hear from the woman. She speaks before you can raise any questions. Let me guess, you got a lot of questions for me, right? Your questions all bore me. All you need to know is that no matter where the wheel of fate turns to, it always benefits me. There's no shortage of mortals who seek the hand of a greater existence, and so I come to them and offer the choices, waiting to reap what is sowed. Despair or hope, they're my collection all the same. Do not be mistaken, I am no friend to you, nor do I represent the past or the future. I am what I am, possibility. I didn't foresee our encounter. Be advised that I don't plan to see my old friend, at least not now. Her words only baffle you even more. The woman, however, seems to have anticipated such reaction. If my words are bewildering you, it's because they're meant for someone else. Nevertheless, I do trust we shall meet again. I look forward to hear from your adventure then. Until next time. She disappears in the blink of an eye, leaving no trace of her visit. You wake up and find Tehran next to you. Thank goodness you finally wake up. It's been an hour since you rested your head at the table. What, you mean I slept for an hour? A most urgent affair comes to your mind as a shock. Wait, what's the time? It's almost 5. The train, I gotta go. A peculiar dream unfurls in your mind. Within its realm, you transform into a butterfly, gliding above the sunless sea. Across this vast expanse, a multitude of sinuous black lines unravel before your gaze. Intrigued, you pursue these lines, driven to unveil their origins, eventually reaching the very edge of the universe. Here, time unravels in chaotic threads and space twists and shatters, engulfing an unending turmoil. From the boundless chaos, those black lines stem. Amidst the surreal vision, the silver key materializes, slicing through the vast chaos. It reveals vistas of what is to come, distinguishing light from darkness. There we go, we got 10 mythical items. I think we only have like 2 left that we need from the other path. Or, well, one of them was near the beginning of the game, but we'll have to go back and do that again. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm gonna be leaving it off for this video. So, if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time when we continue with more depersonalization. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye!